Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's feeling good today. We got a loaded baseball night, 15 games on the board. We'll go through every single one of them momentarily. WNBA's up first. And yes, Matt Modi is wearing the same exact shirt. And I'm beginning to wonder if he owns a second shirt at this point. So
it's a cool shirt. What do you want from me?
It has been washed, though.
It has been washed. Can confirm it's been washed.
All right. You told us that last time, even though you wore it 8 hours apart.
No. Last time I said I showered in between. I didn't say I washed it. I said I had showered.
And we got Chris coming to us live. Chris looks like he just got eliminated from the NBA Finals. All right, so 2 WNBA games. Chris, I haven't bet it, but I've been taking the Sparks. The Sparks have been covering, right? Because I feel like on the show, I've been taking the Sparks, and I feel like I've been winning when I do that too. I'm not betting it, but I feel like the Sparks have been covering.
They go back and forth, Kyle. Like they did cover against the Lynx when they were getting those. I think it was like 13.5 points, like 2 games ago. But then they went to Atlanta, and Atlanta just lost to 2 worst teams in WNBA with the Fever and the Mystics, and they end up not covering. Offense just kind of runs out of gas late. One thing we talk about when I'm on this show, Kyle, is not fading Connecticut. I think this is probably the worst team. This is probably 1 or 2 when we talk about the Connecticut Sun, and probably, if not the worst, the second worst team in the WNBA. And I don't want to trust them on the road here. The Sparks are in the midst. It's the 4th game of a 7-game road trip. Shout out to the schedule makers. There's only 40 games in the WNBA season, and somehow you come up with a 7-game road trip for them. So terrible spot for them here. You got Connecticut coming back home. Things have been kind of smooth for them. They went on the road, won both of those games. We continuously talk about that team total over, Cal. Every time I say it, you say, Chris, you're taking another Connecticut Sun team total over? Yeah. And I was waiting for you to ask me today because that's exactly what I like. And this is why, Cal. 83.5 is the number. The Connecticut Sun are a slow-paced team, actually the slowest-paced team in the WNBA. So I think the odds makers, don't tell anybody, but I think the odds makers continue to set their total so low because they play such good defense and they play so slow. But they've actually gone over their team total in, I want to say, 3 of their last 4 games, and they continuously get to 84, 85. On the opposite side, you got a Sparks team that is the second worst defensive rated team on the road behind the Indiana Fever. And I think they'll run out of gas late. So if I'm playing the spread, I'm laying here. I know it's a big number. I don't typically lay these big numbers, but I think safer play, just because the total is so low and it's continuously come down, would be that team total over 83.5 here.
Going back to the well here with Connecticut team total over.
Old faithful. And I'll add this guy. LA, young team, don't really have too much of a true point guard. They are first in turnovers in the WNBA. Connecticut forces the 3rd most. They score the most points off turnovers. And the Sparks give it up inside the paint. So DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, Bree Jones, they should be able to get whatever it is they want. I'll stay away from the spread. Just take the team total over here.
Connecticut team total over 83.5. 13's a big number. I think I want to take let's hear what Modi thinks first.
Yeah, I took the full game under, actually, so it's a little bit in contrast to what Chris has. So I got it at 156. It's now the total's at like 153.5 at most places. That's a little bit low for me. I'd probably just pivot to the Sparks team total under at that point. You can get it at under 70.5 at BetMGM for just -110 odds. You're not really paying any extra juice. Under 70.5. Yeah, I guess it just moved to -115. So it's just backing the Sun defense, which is really good, and it's also back like the fact that they play at the slowest pace in the WNBA. Like in the last 10 games. So I don't actually know like what this measures, the 91.67, looking at like just the advanced metrics. NBA does it the same thing. But that's what their pace is. The next closest team is at 94.5. And that's the same gap between the second slowest and the second fastest. Like they're basically like in their own tier in terms of how slow they play. They have the best defensive net rating by far. They allow 68.8 points per game. The next closest team over the last 10 games is 74.2. Lowest opponent effective field goal percentage. Just an awesome defense. And the Sparks offense is nothing that is very special. So at this point, with the way the total is, I'll just take the Sparks team total under. I also did have a player prop in this one. I only put a half unit on it as player props have been hit or miss for the WNBA. I have Brianna Jones over 12.5 points. It's at -125 odds. This is really just a play because the Sparks can't guard post-ups. Like, they're the second worst post-up defense in the WNBA, and Brianna scores the most points in the restricted area for the Sun. And like, these two teams haven't played this year, but last year she scored 14, 16, and 17 points in her last 3 games against the Sparks, and she's cashed it in 7 of her last 10 games. And in 2 of the games she went under, she had 11 and 12 points. So it's just like 1 bucket away. So Sparks team total under, and also Brianna Jones, like I said, over 12.5 points.
All right. Give me Sparks plus 13. I like the Sparks team. Don't know a damn thing about them. Looks like you already moved to the next team. That's fine. Liberty, Mercury. Kind of a short number here for New York on the road. I guess maybe Liberty coming off the big game against, was that Connecticut?
Aces.
Oh, against the Aces, right. So maybe a flat spot for them. I guess that's what they're thinking with this line. Or, you know what? Have the Mercury been playing better since, what's your name's back? Grinding?
That's what it is,
both,
yeah.
Both, yeah. They're 4-0 against the number and 3-1 straight up. Only loss came to the Aces, actually, by 4 points. And this was a game where so the Mercury's offense has looked a lot better. I think they have an offensive rating of 110, which is probably the highest in the WNBA since she came back. With Kalia Copper out there and Diana Taurasi, you never really know what you're going to get from her. But if she's hitting her shots, this is a very, very elite offense. I have been coming on, Cal, talking about the New York Liberty first quarter team total. They averaged like 26 points in the first quarter, but the total is 21.5. Here's what gave me hesitation, though. Since Brittany Griner has returned, the Mercury are allowing a league low 15 points in the first quarter. So I looked on, shout out to my guy RC. I checked out the Money Baller website. And in the first half, the Liberty have actually been the best first half road team in the WNBA. I think they're 6-1 straight up in road games. And it's really just their defense. They're winning by an average of 10 points per game. Now, do I trust them in this spot? I really want to, but I'm tired of fading the Mercury. I lost the other day fading the Mercury against the Storm, and that game was over with pretty early. So what I want to do is I want to isolate the first half specifically, thinking that the Mercury can come in here, play a little bit of defense. I know I trust the Liberty defense on the road as well. So I'll take the first half under 86.5, I think is the number over on Caesars. I think that's the best play in the game, just to kind of stay away from the side. Just expecting the Liberty defense to continue to be, the number 2 rated defense that they are in the WNBA. And I trust, the Mercury to, to get some stops early as well, because they've been doing really, really good, specifically in the first half. I think they are 6-2 to the under in the first half, and the Liberty are 5-1 to the first half under as well. Those numbers could be backwards, but yeah, I'll take the first half under 86.5 and just stay away from the side, because I want to lay it with the Liberty, but then I kind of want to take it with the Mercury as well. So I'll stay off the side in this one.
All right. So if you want to try and do a ChrisBeCappin Ski Profit special here, Ski likes the second half over. So you take the first half under.
Wow.
Live bet the over, tail them both at the same time. Ski is also in the comments saying he's laying the 13 points with Connecticut. So I'm on the opposite side, taking the Sparks. Head to head there. I don't know shit about it, though.
Still time to back down. Okay.
No, I'm sticking with my Sparks.
I know. I already knew that. I just wanted you to say that.
That's a big number, 13. Backdoor. Backdoor's going to be wide open for Cameron Brink in the squad. Mr. Modi.
Yeah, I took the Liberty to cover the spread here. I admittedly got a worse price than you can get right now. I got them at -5.5. Most places has it at -5, and there is a 4.5 out there at BetMGM. So that one did admittedly move against me, but the Liberty have been the best road team in the WNBA. Since they had that 2-game skid like 10 games ago, they've won 8 straight, and they've been on fire. Like, if you look at the last 6 games, which I get is a little bit of an arbitrary cutoff point looking at 6 games. But in that stretch, they have the best offense in the WNBA with the second best defense. So the only team that's top 3 in both. The Sun would have the best defense and the 4th best offense. And the Mercury, they have been a lot better with Brittany Griner for sure. But their one weakness is guarding the 3-point line. And that's a death sentence with all the 3-pointers that the Liberty shoot. With Ionescu, even Jonquel Jones has been shooting. Brianna Stewart hasn't been shooting well, but even she's getting attempts up. So I do think that they have the advantage there, and they can just space Brittany Griner out. Like she's been playing really well, but she really can't move her feet as well in the first couple games back. So even though I did get a bad price here, I like the liberty to cover the spread.
Someone said Modi buys his shirts in bulk.
There's nothing wrong with buying your shirts in bulk.
If it's the same anime shirt in the same exact color, is there more than one shirt, Matt, or is it the same exact shirt?
It's the same exact shirt.
All right, give me Mercury +5. I'm fading Modi. Fading the shirt, man. No, I don't know. I'm not betting this.
Fading the shirt.
Clear the picks off so they can see their names. Make sure you give these guys a follow. Appreciate them taking the time to come on. They both have their own YouTube channels. They both upload daily content. Both do a really good job. So show them some support. Give them a follow. Let's talk some seam. Oh, no, Matt, you're staying. What the hell am I talking about?
I'm staying, yeah. You can still, if you found me compelling, you can still give me a follow. But yeah, I'll still be here.
Chris, enjoy your day, man. Talk soon.
See you, Chris.
Absolutely. You guys have a good one, man. Best of luck to the community.
Later. You see Toast anywhere in sight? Oh, there he is, right here.
He just look at that timing. Although,
well, he probably watches the show and waits. Yep.
And knows, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't see him on my end, so if he's here, it's doing that same glitchy thing again. It shows
his Modi Toast. He can see and hear you. So Matt, drop out and come back in real quick.
Okay. All right.
And switch Toast name on the. All right. Cool. I see them both. Oh, no. Never mind. Matt's frozen on my screen. You want to put Toast in the right spot? You have Jedi Modi under his name. That's not Matt. Can you see everybody, Matt? All right, Toast, can you leave and come back then? This is our last stream using this OBS Ninja crap. We're trying a new service tonight that I am pretty confident with.
It's the same problem that happened last time. There, I can see and hear him now.
All right.
Thank you.
We are officially, I can see and hear both of you. So we're good. Did Toast just say nice shirt? All right. Let's talk scene. First game up is cards. I wanted to take the Cardinals -1.5 so bad. Why? Because Munoz coming off a good start. I mean, he's not going to have back-to-back good starts. Marlins can't hit. Lance Lynn's actually been pretty good on the road. Let me pull it up. I didn't take it, so it's. I'm not sitting here saying I took the Cardinals -1.5, but I wanted to. So the Munoz has, oh my God, some ugly-looking numbers against lefty bats. Cardinals have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lefties in the lineup, and Munoz against lefties, 480 WOBA. Dude's gotten rocked by left-handed bats, and the Cardinals are going to have 6 of them in the lineup. Give me Cards -1.5 on the screen, because that's where I would have went here. Don't have a ton of faith in Lance Lynn. The thing is, Lance Lynn's last 2 starts, he's got a 7.56 ERA, 180 WHIP. So we're talking 2 bad starts in a row. But his numbers on the road this year have been solid. His last road start, he only went 4 innings, but he didn't let up a run to the Phillies. Okay. Pitched well in Cincinnati. Got hit up by the Angels back in May 15th. But he's actually been all right on the road. The Marlins are terrible. So, I don't know. Lance Lynn, give me 5 innings, 3 runs, and I should cover this. I also lean towards the over. It's down at 8, but Cardinals -1.5 for Pats for me.
Yeah, I'm on the over 8. I think Lance Lynn got a little bit lucky in that Philly start. I mean, they still scored 4 runs. I mean, none of them were earned, but they still scored 4 runs. And if you go back his last 4 road starts, I mean, regardless if they're earned or unearned, it's 4 to the Brewers, 4 to the Angels, 3 to the Reds, and 4 to the Phillies. So I understand. I played over 8. I don't know if I just said that or not, but yeah. So yeah, like you talked about Munoz, I expect him to get hit up too after coming off probably the best start of his life. And like you just mentioned, the splits are heavily favor the Cardinals, and I'm not in a spot where I think that Lance Lynn is going to deal. Not to mention the fact Miami's already seen him once this year. They got to him this year. They saw him last year, or they got to him for 4 runs this year. They saw him last year. They got him for 8 runs. I mean, I understand that this Marlins team is different and bad, but I still think they're going to put up a couple runs here. Not to mention when we get to the bullpens, Miami's bullpen is kind of taxed. I mean, the Cardinals saw literally everybody in their bullpen yesterday except for Bender, and a lot of those guys have worked a couple days in a row. And then on the Cardinals side, same difference. Multiple guys have pitched back-to-back days, so it's not a good spot for either one of them. I mean, Kittredge is back-to-back days. Fernandez is back-to-back days. Helsley went 23 the other day. He's only going to play if is in a save opportunity. Romero went yesterday, so I played over 8, and I actually like it a lot.
Someone said that we posted Miami on the website. I didn't.
I posted Miami St. Louis over 8.
Yeah, I see right here. Toast posted the over, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Someone maybe just misread it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the first half over. It's over 4.5, minus 105. I don't hate the full game over either. I really just wanted to fade both of these starting pitchers. Lance Lynn is due for some regression. He's 3.75 ERA, but 4.17 expected ERA, 3.93 FIP, 4.17 xFIP, and 4.26 Sierra. Like he's not really been that great. And then the Marlins pitcher, like you guys said, he had one good start last week and he's gotten rocked every other start. I'll gladly bet on the regression of that as well. So yeah, fate. I mean, I don't hate the full game total either. I just wanted to isolate both pitchers. Took the over 4.5.
Sounds like you guys are kind of in agreement with how this one goes here. Someone asked, did I beat Helms yesterday? I had him beat until the Neris gave up a 3-run homer in the 9th of the Cubs game. If the Cubs win, I beat him. So Neris gave up that 3-run homer. I lost my Cubs bet, and I lost to Helms because of that one pitch. Some horse shit. Next game, please.
Yesterday didn't happen.
Yesterday didn't happen, he said. Next up, Padres, Phillies. What the hell with this price?
Go ahead, bet the Phillies like everybody else.
I'm not. No.
Why not?
Because I'm scared of the price.
Exactly.
Phillies at minus 142 at home. Nola on the mound. If you want to make a case, so here's what because obviously you guys don't need me to give you angles for the Phillies. We all know why. Like, you all know reasons of why the Phillies should win. The second best record in baseball. The Padres have been terrible. You don't need me to tell you that. Like, that's obvious. So I'm trying to find angles of why this price is this low. Clear, and honestly, it's moved towards the Padres. So clearly there are some sharps out there buying in on the Padres at this price. I could find some reasoning that Michael King pitches a good game here. Phillies bats have been overrated for a little while now. So their pitching, their defense, their bullpen, that's been winning games. They haven't really been hitting. I know it scored 9 runs yesterday, but the Phillies lineup does not have great offensive numbers over the last month. So I can make a case for Michael King pitching well. What I can't make a case for is San Diego getting to Nola. I'm just not seeing it on that end. So put up an under for me, Brock Beaver. That'd be the only way I bet it. I stayed off the game because I was just sitting there with my finger on the trigger of Phillies minus 1.5, and I was like, I can't do it at this price. But this price is crazy. This is going to be the most public play on the board by far. Now, I'm not saying if you're on the Phillies, that means you should bail. It's terrifying.
They ain't bailing. Ain't nobody who bet the Phillies already bailing. Get the hell out of here. Jesus Christ. If you're that square, it ain't nothing like that's going to bother you at all. So, yeah, I personally bet the Padres. Didn't send it out. Didn't write it up. I don't want to deal with it. But, yeah, if you're going to give me the Padres at plus 120 with the world on the other side, all the line movement says Padres. I don't really care. Like I said, I'm not giving it out. I don't expect anybody to tail, but I bet the Padres personally.
I feel like a lot of people just don't trust Aaron Nola. Like, he got rocked in his last start. He was really good in the playoffs last year, but he was bad most of the year. So I get that, like, and the Phillies haven't been hitting. So that's like the argument of why I'm guessing the people, like, why the sharps have been on the Padres is just fading Aaron Nola. I got a dong on this one. I took Trey Turner, FanDuel Dinger Tuesday play at plus 450. He returned yesterday from his 6-week injury, but he was pretty good. He had 2 hard hits. He had an average launch angle of 27.3 degrees. So he was hitting the ball hard. And he was aiming to put the ball in the air, which is good news. This is a really good game from a weather perspective. It's super hot and humid, which everybody on the East Coast is experiencing, but with winds blowing out of the ballpark. And despite the fact that he wasn't hitting for a ton of power before he got hurt, he had been playing really well. He had a 375 WOBA, 144 WRC plus. That's like the 13th and 15th highest if he had enough at-bats to qualify. He's only hit 2 home runs in the year, but they both have come against right-handed pitching. And Michael King of the Padres has allowed a lot of home runs. He's a 10th worst home run per 9 in the MLB and is generally worse against right-handed hitters as well. His fly ball rate, pull rate, hard hit rate are all higher against right-handed hitters. I think the whole world's going to be on Schwarber, and it's like there's really no value in betting on Schwarber home run unless you take him to hit 2, and he just hit 2 yesterday. So I wanted to pivot a little bit and take Trey Turner instead of Bryce.
And yeah, no Tatis Jr. in the lineup, but he hasn't even been. I mean, he had some ugly at bats in that Mets series, some ugly looking at bats, swinging at balls that weren't even close to the zone. So that I don't know how much that moves the needle for me, honestly. But yeah, it's under a pass.
If I was going to pick a homer, Bryson Stott. Doesn't he own Michael King? 3 plate appearances, 2 home runs, something like that, right?
I don't think he has 2 home runs because I filtered for
I'm positive he has 2 home runs. I just don't know about the at-bats. Let me check. Yeah. Bryson Stott owns Michael King.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I missed that.
He owns Michael King.
So this next one, I'm on Seattle. And basically what I'm fading here is Cleveland's been great, and they've been great at home. Have nothing negative to say about Cleveland, and this really isn't a fade of Cleveland per se. This is kind of a fade of Bryce Miller's road splits that look terrible, but if you actually look at his starts, I mean, at Kansas City, at Yankee Stadium, at Baltimore, I mean, the dude's had a little bit of a rough break here when it comes to his recent road starts, and he's kind of been branded as this guy who can't pitch on the road. Well, shit, man. If someone has those 3 road starts in a row, they're going to get rocked also. Especially back when he pitched against Kansas City a couple weeks ago when they were still hitting the ball at home. So 3 road starts in a row and 3 of the toughest ballparks to go pitch in. I don't think these road splits are accurate. I think we're going to see some positive regression for Bryce Miller. He also 3 of his 4 pitches, Cleveland's in the bottom 10 as far as pitch mix. So I think Bryce Miller is going to pitch well. And on the other side, I'm on Seattle, Rob Beaver. I don't know what we're going to get from Tristan McKenzie. I'm a Tristan McKenzie guy, but he looks terrible. I can't trust him. So at this price, I think I'm on the right side. I think it should be closer to a pick'em with this starting pitching matchup, which I feel Seattle has the starting pitching edge. And with the starting pitching edge for Seattle, I think this game should be closer to a pick'em. So I took Seattle. I also took him on the first 5 too.
Did you read my write-up at all?
No.
It's like word for word what you just said. This is what I wrote. I just feel Bryce Miller has been a little lucky on the road this year. The Royals, the Yankees, the Orioles. I mean, that's a pretty damn tough schedule. I understand Cleveland's been playing well and their bats are scary, but Miller's been so good. And I personally don't believe he's going to continue to pitch that bad on the road. And then I went to go and detail it a little bit more. So
yeah, I did a YouTube video on this one.
So I just think that's so funny. I was dying when you started reading that. So anyway, yeah, I'm on the same thing. I'm on Seattle as well. This team is just red hot right now. 7-3 their last 10, 15-5 their last 20. I tried to take a shot with Texas against them, and it didn't work out very well at all. So there's just no way I can fade this Seattle team at plus money right now. No way in hell.
And then something else I wanted to mention is a lot of times when I've bet this Cleveland team, I'm fading a pitcher's righty-lefty splits. Bryce Miller doesn't have any. He's actually got solid numbers against left-handed bats. Cleveland's loaded. Cleveland's lineup's going to have like 7 lefties in it today. But like I said, Bryce Miller can pitch against lefties. He's not one of those guys that struggles against left-handed bats. So there are a lot of guys like a Zach Wheeler that have pretty significant splits where you can find some value fading them with a lineup full of lefties. Bryce Miller's not one of those guys. So Seattle.
Yeah, so for me, I have Bryce Miller under 3.5 strikeouts. It's at plus 138. I only put a half unit on it. This definitely is not one of my favorite plays of the day by far. It's really just like, I mean, most books are pricing's over under at 3.5, and he's gone over that in 11 of his 14 starts. He's coming off of an 8 strikeout start against the White Sox. So I feel like the books are just like baiting people with this price. Granted, it is like, I mean, the plus 130, obviously it is pretty high plus money odds, but I'll take the under on that one, mostly because the Guardians just never strike out. Like Bryce Miller, his average in terms of his strikeout stuff, like strikeout rate, strikeout per inning, swinging strike rate, all that stuff is mostly just average. And average doesn't strike out a lot of Guardians. They have the lowest strikeout rate in the MLB over the last 2 weeks at 14.3%. That's just a ridiculously low number. Lowest strikeout rate over the last 15 games and on the entire season as well. So that's why it's priced this low, is because the Guardians never strike out. But I feel like the public is going to see that win percentage and just, he's hit it in 11 of 14 and want to bet the over. So I'm fading that again, mostly just as a value play, but I only put a half unit on it. This is definitely not one of my favorite plays of the day.
All right, Bryce Miller under 3.5 strikeouts. Next game, please. Comments, by the way, are all over Cleveland.
That makes me feel better. Hey, one thing that we should add to those spreadsheets is like when you know how the game logs versus right-handed pitchers, we should add strikeout column if it's not too hard.
Yeah, I had it in there and ended up taking. I could probably get it. Yeah.
The only reason I said it is because like as soon as he said that, I wanted to see, because I knew Cleveland didn't strike out. I wanted to see what other starters had against them.
Yeah, true. Next up is Cincinnati-Pittsburgh. I bet this game, to be honest. I don't want to say I regret the bet, but so this is the second game I handicapped yesterday, and I handicapped it. I put out a video. You might have watched it. Took the over, placed the bet, then moved on to the next game. I ended up liking like 6 more bets after that, and had I just like made a list, this one probably would have got left off, but I am on the over here. The Pirates, weirdly, might be a sneaky lineup we can back against lefties here. Now, Lodolo's been good, but on the road in Pittsburgh, this Pirates lineup, actually, rather than speak from memory, I want to pull it up and have it in front of me. So give me 1 second on that. But that's where I thought the value was. I don't think I need to tell anybody. I don't think you guys need me to tell you that the Reds should get to Bailey Falter. Bailey Falter's getting rocked. I mean, and we've been saying expected FIP. He's due for regression. So the Reds getting to Bailey Falter, I don't think anyone needs convincing on that part. But the Pirates getting to Nick Lodolo, who's been very good, I think that's the part people might not be as quick to accept. But the Pirates against lefties, I mean, they got to Ty Block, they got to Paxton, got to Kikuchi. The only 2 lefties they haven't gotten to that they've seen recently, Tariq Skubal and Chris Sale. I mean, Jesus, those might be the 2 best lefties in baseball right now. So I like this Pirates team against left-handed bats right now. I think they're a sneaky value. In the last 30 days, 19th, 16th, and 17th. This is not a bad lineup against lefties. If we get 2 or 3 off Lodolo, low total like 8, I'm comfortable with it. So give me the over. I know a lot of people like the Reds. A lot of people in the Discord are on the Reds today.
I'm on the Reds. I think Nick Lodolo can pitch well here today. I kind of actually even disagree. I mean, with the Padres or the Pirates versus lefties, I mean, those Paxton, Kikuchi, Blake Snell starts going for like the last 14 days or so or more. Like that's the only thing they've done. I mean, 2 runs off of Ty Black in Coors, that doesn't really do anything for me. And I understand that Nick Lodolo isn't Tariq Skubal or Imanaga, but at the same time, I do think that he's going to pitch well here today. I just don't think that this Pirates offense is that good. I think that they got lucky 4 runs yesterday early, and then we saw them do absolutely nothing after that. So I just don't think they're going to win a series against the Reds. So I took the Reds here at a cheap price. I will happily bet that the Reds don't lose 4 games in a row. And if they do to the Pirates, so be it. And if the Pirates win this series, maybe we start looking at the Pirates as possibility of a playoff team. And I'm dead serious when I say that.
It's not necessarily that I think the Pirates are going to go off on Lodolo. I just think that's the missing piece as far as the over, because we see the Reds getting to Falter, right? The Pirates bullpen, you can see the Reds scoring there. But the part that gets me to the over is, I mean, if you look at Lodolo's game logs, kind of skating on thin ice here. 10 base runners to Cleveland, 9 base runners on the road in Wrigley. The Cubs haven't really been getting to lefties like that. 4 runs on the road to San Francisco. They have been hitting lefties. So I don't think Lodolo's been quite as good as his numbers indicate.
But 3 of his last 4 starts are in Cincinnati. Like, it's really hard to pitch really well in Cincinnati consistently.
Yeah. Modi?
Yeah, I'm with Toast. I just took the Reds money line straight up. Mostly fading Bailey Falter, who I think is terrible and due for some extreme regression. Like his 3.86 ERA obviously is already not a good number, but 4.94 expected ERA, 4.54 FIP, 4.55 expected FIP. Allows a barrel rate 9.5%. That's the 17th worst barrel rate in the MLB. Hard hit rate allowed of 41.4%. That's the 21st worst. In the MLB, he allows really obviously everything I'm saying is that he allows hard hits, but average exit velocity of 90.1, that's the 14th worst. 12th worst Sierra in the MLB. So it's not like I'm not necessarily backing the Reds offense, more so just fading Bailey Falter. And I like Nickeldillo. I think he's a stud. Part of it is probably I'm still just warped from when he struck out like 13 Phillies last year in one of his first starts. Maybe that's just still in the back of my head because he was electric. But even like his numbers are good. 2.93 ERA, 3.21 expected ERA, 3.37 FIP, 3.62 xFIP shows that maybe he's gotten slightly lucky, but not to the extent of Bailey Falter. 25th lowest Sierra at 3.4, and the Reds bullpen's better than the Pirates. So yeah, I just took the Reds straight up.
All right, you guys both on the Reds. Comments all over the Reds. 74%, 15%. So a lot of people taking the Reds here. Next game, please. Toast is going to hate my pick in this one. Toast, you on the Nats? Oh, you're muted, I think.
Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm on the Nats and -1.5. I think you're so wrong on this. It's not even funny.
All right, go ahead.
Here, go. Well, hold on. Let me pull up my notes because I didn't know what game we were going on. So hold on.
Okay, so I'll go. I'm on the Diamondbacks money line. I got a +105, I think. So obviously Jake Irvin has been better than Slade Shoshone, obviously. But next to that, after that, there's no aspect of this game that I like the Nats for. I mean, maybe the bullpen's a little bit better, but the gap in lineups is not even close. I mean, Arizona's been one of the hottest lineups in baseball. Top 10 in the last 30 days, top 5 in the last 14 days. They also got a ton of lefties in the lineup. Jake Irvin, significantly worse numbers against lefties. They've been hitting on the road. It's a top 5 lineup against right-handed pitching. They've gotten to 1, 2. Wow, it's Jose Soriano they didn't get to. Got to the last 2 righty starters they've seen. And this now.
Name those starters, please, for us. Who are they?
Fetty, Flexen.
And then the next one after that, too?
Griffin Canning.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I don't think Jake Irvin's necessarily much higher than Fetty or Griffin Canning.
Okay.
I don't think Jake Irvin's that good. I think it's a sell high spot on Jake Irvin and the Nats bat. So I think the Nats lineup is pretty terrible. They've been hitting recently. I think they're pretty terrible. And we're going to see them come back to life. I mean, look at the lineups they've seen. The pitchers they've seen. Casey Mize, Reese Olson, Kenta Maeda, Charlie Morton. You got to go back to Reynaldo Lopez to find the last decent righty starter that they've seen. So I don't think it's that unfathomable that Slade Ciccone pitches well here. This Nats lineup is putting up a big number, and it feels like in every single game they're scoring runs. So yeah, I guess I'm going to be on an island here because all you guys, over 70% of you picking the Nats.
That's what scares me. That is what scares me. The line movement scares me a little bit, but it went down. It went down to 110. Now it's back up to 120. But regardless, I'm just not going to let another Jake Irvin start and another sketchy line stop me from betting Jake Irvin in the Nats. You can make a case that Jake Irvin doesn't pitch as well at home as he does on the road, but I honestly feel like those Arizona numbers against right-handed pitching are very inflated. I mean, when you play the White Sox and the Angels in back-to-back series and those hitting numbers go through the roof when you put up a couple big numbers at home, Slade Ciccone has pitched well on the road. Yeah, I will give him that, but regardless, he's not going deep into games, and I'm not in a position where I trust that Arizona bullpen, rest it or not. I'm going to stick to my Nats that have treated me so well this year. I mean, the Nats are not only playing good baseball over the last couple of days, they're 8-2 their last 10, they're 12-8 their last 20. I honestly think they're a better team than Arizona. So yeah, I played Nats on the money line. I also played Nats -1.5 at a big plus price.
I do not think they're a better team than Arizona. But,
I passed on this one. If I had to break the tie, I would probably side with Toast because I like Jake Irvin. I think he's solid, and I think the Nats, the young scrappy team, and also fuck the Diamondbacks. So I officially passed, but if I had to break the tie, that's where I would go.
That's such a Philly fan for you.
So I am truly on an island here because everyone in the 72% to 20%. So everyone's been the Nats here except me. I'm on Snakes Island.
Logan from Calling Our Shots, he's on the Nats too.
On the Snakes?
Or Snakes, sorry.
There you go. I'm in good company. All right, what's up next? Baltimore. All right, Prop Beaver's getting the. I got some CLV here. Something. I split my money in half on this one, so I'm not heavily invested in either of my two bets. I'll wait till Prop Beaver gets the poll up. So Prop Beaver, I'm on Orioles money line, and I'm on first 5 under 5. So I think you might. I don't think I told Andy about it unless he went and looked at the graphics. So you might have to type first 5 under. But all right, yeah. So I'm on those two bets right there. It's not that I think okay. So basically, where I think the value is that these two starting pitchers are a little bit closer than you would think by looking at the names. Albert Suarez has pitched really well. The Yankees lineup not putting up video game numbers anymore. I mean, they were first in every single category for like a month. Now they're like 10th, 11th, 12th in the last 7 days. Still a great lineup. Still a lineup you have to fear. But if the Yankees aren't putting up video game numbers, there's no reason they should be laying this much juice to a Baltimore team that has a better bullpen. You could even make the argument that Albert Suarez is every bit as good as Nestor Cortez recently. But the fact that this is in Yankee Stadium evens that out because Nestor Cortez is much better at home. But Albert Suarez has been good. He's got good numbers against righty bats, and the Yankees have a bunch of them in the lineup. This should be a low-scoring game early. Baltimore's got the better bullpen. I got it at plus 130, so I got a real nice payout in what I feel is a coin flip.
Yeah, I'm on the same bet as Kyle. I was waiting because I thought that money would come in. I bet the Baltimore at 130 this morning as well. You can still get pretty close to that, but regardless of whatever it is, I just thought that the money would flood in, so I wanted to wait till this morning to bet it. But yeah, Suarez has been really good, like really, really good for Baltimore. Like I mean, it's not like he's facing fantastic competition, but on the road at Toronto, the White Sox and the Angels. No runs to the Angels, no runs to the White Sox, and 2 runs to Toronto. I mean, that's solid work. And I'm not trying to make a case that he goes in and blanks the Yankees, but if he gives up maybe 2 runs, maybe 3, like I still like the chances for Baltimore to win this game. Like I understand that Baltimore's numbers versus lefties aren't great, but they've already seen Nestor once this year. They throttled him. They saw him last year in Yankee Stadium. They throttled him then. And this Baltimore team is just absolutely rolling right now. 20-10 their last 30, 14-6 their last 20, 8-2 their last 10. They just demolished the Philadelphia Phillies. Like regardless, whatever you want to say about the Phillies and their injuries and who was playing and who wasn't, like they throttled that team. And the Phillies are probably one of the best, if not the best teams in baseball, not named the Yankees. So I think Baltimore comes in here. If you're going to give me Baltimore at a huge plus price, I'm going to take it. Yeah.
O's up. Seems like the viewership agrees with us too. Poll is definitely on Baltimore. It's looking like 60. It's down to 59%, 28%. So definitely a bunch of people out there betting the Yanks. S-Dot's laying the -1.5. Modi? Shocker.
Yeah, so it's a kind of a random market.
Hold on 1 sec. They're saying Gunnar Henderson is out. I'm looking at Orioles confirmed lineup. Gunnar Henderson in.
I've not seen that Gunnar Henderson's out.
Yeah, he's playing. So I don't know where you guys are getting that from.
Probably because they're used to seeing him first. He's batting 4th.
Oh, really? Is that what it is?
I don't know, but that's what I would assume.
All right. Go ahead, Modi.
Yeah, I have Giancarlo Stanton to record an RBI. It's plus 135 odds, and this is another play that I'm putting a half unit on. I get super random market, mostly, again, just another line shopping play. Like FanDuel prices this at plus 135. Pretty much every other book has this in the teens, like Caesars at plus 110, DraftKings plus 115. The only book that's close was 365 that added at plus 125. So that's admittedly, a lot of the play was just really line shopping. I do like the fact that he's 5th in the lineup with Soto and Judge at 2 and 3. So Verdugo is at 4. As long as he doesn't clear the bases, Soto and Judge both have really high walk rates. So hopefully he can get some at bats with people on base. Suarez has been really good, but Stanton is better against right-handed pitching than he is against lefties. Basically in every single category except for average, which I don't really put a ton of stock just into average. WRC plus is at plus 126 against righties, plus 104 against lefties. Basically average against lefties. WOBA is higher. WRAA is higher. ISO rate is 26.5% against righties, up from 19% against lefties. So if it's a home run, then this would cash, and then hopefully he could just get some at-bats with runners on base. But yeah, mostly just a line shopping play here, to be honest.
Stanton over a half RBI. Okay, plus 135. Next game, please. Boston, Toronto. Another one I got some CLV on. Hopefully that translates to a win. I got the Red Sox out of pick 'em. So I mean, this is like a really simple one. I don't even need to open up any spreadsheets for this one. It's not when I bet the Blue Jays yesterday. Was playing the spot. Red Sox coming off Sunday Night Baseball, back-to-back huge emotional wins over their rival. Immediately fly up Toronto. That's just a spot. Fading that spot has been profitable and probably will always be profitable. Didn't work out yesterday. Also, there was a lefty on the mound. Boston's been better against righties. So here they are. I don't see any reason to. I mean, the Red Sox are crushing the baseball. They're crushing righties. I'm not scared of Chris Bassett. I know he's been really good recently. I'm not scared of him.
On the road.
He hasn't been good at home?
I mean, not nearly as good as he's been on the road.
I think he's been pretty good, period. But I'm on the Red Sox. I got it at -110. I realized that everyone's going to be on the Red Sox here. I did a video on this one yesterday. I couldn't find a way to get to Toronto. Tanner Houck, by the way, he's having a career season. He's been excellent. Toronto is just not a lineup I trust, period, let alone against right-handed bats. Tanner Houck should pitch well. All I need for Boston is to get to Bassett a little bit, touch him up a little bit, because when we get to the bullpens, we have the advantage too with Boston. So Red Sox playing much better baseball than the Blue Jays are right now.
Yeah, I'm on Boston as well. I also made -1.5 at +160 with Boston. Same thing as yesterday with you. I was on Toronto. I didn't like the spot for Boston. And now you have Tanner Houck, who's like borderline Cy Young material right now this year. Not to mention his last start against Toronto, he got completely blown up by them last year. Like, I really expect Tanner Houck to pitch well. And then Chris Bassett, yes, he's been very, very good. I had a big bet on them the last first 5 against Milwaukee. The last time he pitched, he's been really, really good, especially really good on the road. But between his last 3 home starts, he hasn't really necessarily been as good as he's been on the road. His last home start against Pittsburgh, 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs against Pittsburgh. He blanked the White Sox. Good for you. And then the Blue Rays had 5 hits and 3 runs against him. So he just hasn't been as good at home. Again, Chris Bassett has been fantastic, but again, I just think that he's been a little bit weaker at home. And this Boston lineup is just so damn red hot yesterday. So I kind of felt stupid not riding with Dirty Water yesterday after they've been paying me out the last couple of days against the Yanks, but it is what it is. But I'm going right back to the train with Dirty Water today. Hopefully they don't screw me.
Modi?
Yeah, Tanner Houck, 6+ strikeouts, +160 odds. Another half unit play here. It's kind of the inverse of the Bryce Miller play, where like his was priced really low because the team he's going up against doesn't strike out. That's kind of similar here, but instead I am going with the over because the difference between the Blue Jays and the Guardians, it's a pretty big deal. Like, the Blue Jays do have a low strikeout rate, 16.6% over the last 2 weeks against righties. That's still 2 full percentage points above the Guardians. So, like, there's a pretty clear difference there. And Tanner Houck, like, he's hit 6 or more strikeouts in 8 of his 14 starts. He averages over 6.5 strikeouts per game. So the fact they're even getting +160 for him to hit his average is pretty good value, which again, I understand is because the Blue Jays never strike out, but like his over outs is priced at 17.5 at like -200. So they're expecting him to pitch really well. And the Blue Jays, like, the books are pricing strikeout props against them, taking into the fact that they don't strike out very frequently, but they've allowed 5 of the last 8 right-handed pitchers against them to go over their strikeout prop. And that's according to props.cash. I like the fact that Tanner Houck, they let him pitch pretty deep into the games in terms of pitch count, consistently throwing into the mid 90s. Like, only once has he gone under 90 pitches, and that was his first start of the year. So obviously, the longer he goes into the game, the higher chance he has of hitting this prop. So, like, a lot of what I have today are half unit dart throws on plus money plays, and this is another one of those.
A half unit dart throw. Okay.
That's right.
Next game, please. I would imagine the poll's heavy on Red Sox, what they say. Yeah, 77-17. It's going to be one of the more public plays on the board, Boston. Doesn't matter. I'm on it. I got it at a pick 'em.
125 now.
-125 now? All right. Next game is Detroit, Atlanta. Modi, do you want to lead off in this one? I don't have a single thing to say about it. I don't want to touch any of this. I don't know what the Braves are anymore.
I got a bit in this game.
All right, you go. Take the mic.
Tigers first 5 money line +130. It's kind of like a gut, but something just tells me that the Tigers might get to Spencer Schwellenbach today. Tigers haven't scored many runs over the last couple days, but I think seeing this kid is going to be a huge step down in class from Blanco and Fried for them. The last time they saw mediocre right-handed pitching in Houston with Arrighetti, they hit him into another planet. Casey Mize definitely going to be the wild card in this game, but this Braves offense is just so inconsistent at the plate. I mean, I thought yesterday was a great opportunity for them, and they kind of just fell flat on their face. I know they ended up winning the game, but even if Mize gives up 2 here, I really think that a money line would be a push here. Yeah, I had kind of a bad day yesterday. I'm not going to let that stop me today from taking some of my dogs that I like. So I like the Tigers early here, and I bet them.
Tigers first 5 money line. Modi, what are your thoughts?
I passed. I'm glad that Toast had something, because for the one
one
game you go to me first, I wouldn't have had anything. So,
all right, next game, please.
You can always just say Ozuna total bases, and you're probably going to get it more than half the time.
That's true.
What's next? Tampa Twins. I looked at this one, and I was really trying to get.
I feel like Twins minus 1.5 is so easy, and they're going to win like 7-1, and I'm going to be mad that I didn't bet it. Like, honestly, that's how I feel.
Savali hasn't been as bad, though.
I know, but he's at a huge fly ball rate. The Twins had a ton of fly balls. I mean, I'm looking at him shaking his head. He's probably got dongs all over for this game.
You know what? Go ahead.
Dongs all over. Huge dongs in this one. Everybody's going to be on.
Wait, you have a dong in this one?
Yeah.
Told you. I knew it. There's no way he didn't. Everything lines up perfectly.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Is he
And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. Down. Down.
All right, so hit us with the dong, Modi.
Yeah, Trevor Larnach.
Yeah.
Larnach. There. Yeah. To hit a home run plus 430. This is another Dinger Tuesday play. Everybody's going to want to take Royce Lewis, and I get it, but I'm going with Larnach mostly because they don't let him bat against left-handed pitching. He's going up against a righty and Aaron Savale, and I mean he's hit 7 home runs on the year. All 7 have come against right-handed pitching. He's also much better at home. 5 of his 7 home runs have come in Minnesota to 23.3% ISO rate at home. He had a stretch late May, early June, where he had a home run in 3 of 4 games. Then he went on a pretty big dry spell before hitting a home run on Sunday. So hopefully he is kind of coming out of that. Aaron Savale, second worst home run per 9 in the MLB at 1.73. He's worse against left-handed hitters as well, which Larnach is. Against lefties, he allows a fly ball rate 42.7%. Pull rate 44.9% and hard hit rate 38.2%. That's the second highest, or that would be the second highest hard hit rate allowed if you extrapolated that out to all qualified pitchers. Yeah, I mean it's a great matchup for Trevor Larnach. So yeah, hopefully he comes through for us, and I can. Everyone's gonna be on Royce Lewis, so I just wanted to zag a little bit, so I went with him.
Toast, you got some faith in Pablo Lopez here.
I didn't bet it, so no, but I just feels me, and it's funny because I was gonna pick Max Kepler, the other lefty in the lineup, Matt, which is funny, at plus 400. So yeah.
Makes
anyway,
sense.
I actually talked briefly with Capper on this on his show too, and he really likes the Twins as well. This Twins team is really, really hot right now. I mean, their last couple games, 8, 6, 6. 6, 17, 4, 5, 11. I mean, this team is just throttling the baseball, and with how much Aaron Savali gives up fly balls and how much this team hits balls in the air, this could really, really set up bad for Savali. And as far as Pablo Lopez goes, I just think that this Rays offense is absolutely terrible. He's pitched well against them before. I honestly think that he pitches well here today. I understand he didn't look good against the Yankees and that weird start against Texas at home. But besides that, he's been pretty good at home. He's had struggles on the road. Again, I didn't bet the Twins, but I truly believe the Twins probably win like 7-1, and I'm going to be pissed off that I didn't.
Someone said it in the comments what I was thinking. He said, why not an over then? I would just put it over 8.5
because I truly think that Pablo Lopez pitches really well, as gross as that is.
What?
Dude, the Rays suck. They suck.
All right, move on to the next game. I didn't bet this, by the way. I was just throwing it up there. Basing it off what these guys said, I would go over. Just
the Rays have scored 4 runs in their last 10 games twice. this team sucks.
So Giants Cubs up next. This is another one where I would imagine everyone's going to be on the same side as me. I don't care. Yesterday I had the Cubs, and the reason I bet it, well, there was a number of reasons, but one of the main reasons I bet it was the Giants bullpen was in bad shape, right? They were really taxed, and I thought the Cubs had the advantage in the late innings, and it was true for most of it. I mean, the Giants had the lead. The Cubs got to the taxed Giants bullpen and took a 6-3 lead in the 8th inning. They blew it. They blew a 3-run lead in the 8th inning. So now the roles are almost reversed a little bit because now Neris just got crushed, gave up a 3-home run. The 3-run home run to lose the game. He threw like 34 pitches. The other two main guys in the Cubs bullpen both threw. Leiter Jr. threw like 29 pitches himself. And the other guy, Wesneski, he threw like 26 pitches. Now, they'll probably be available because they were rested before that, but they just threw 26, 28, and 34 pitches, I think. So the three main arms in the Cubs bullpen were just heavily used yesterday. Justin Steele actually been better on the road this year, but I'm not paying too much attention to that because he was actually really good in Wrigley last year. So home away splits, I like to see a couple year sample size before I draw any conclusions from that. But still, I would take Logan Webb over Justin Steele. We have the starting pitching advantage with the Giants, and the Giants have been getting to lefty starters in kind of a major way. So it's Giants for me here. I got it at -108. I don't know what it's at now. It's just sitting at a pick 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like you could still get it around the same price. I took this
you
last
can get
night.
you can get -105 on FanDuel.
Yeah. I feel like I deserved that Cubs win yesterday. If I got the Cubs game, I would have beat Helms. I would have had a winning day. I would have went 3-1 with my bets. So in one swing of the bat from Neris, I lost my league matchup to Helms, and a 3-1 day turned into a 2-2 day. Thanks, Cubs. Thanks, Neris. Modi?
God, I'm just triggered hearing the thought of Hector Neris blowing saves. So I had Logan Webb over 5.5 strikeouts. I got it at +115. It's now down to +105. I don't know if I would still play it at +105, to be honest with you. I really liked it at the +115 because every other book had it around +100 or even lower, like Caesars -103, FanDuel -102. So if you like the +105, then go for it. Like Webb has been, if you look at his entire season, has not been great from the strikeout department, but he's been a lot better recently. He went under 6 strikeouts in legitimately his first 7 starts. And then he's done it in, I guess I lost my, I think he's done it 5 of 7. I must have forgotten to write that down. But it does feel like the 5 and 6 number is a key number for him. If you look at his 15 starts this year, he's had exactly 5 or 6 in 10 of his 15 starts. And here we go. He's hit 6 or more in 6 of his last 8. Both times that he went under, he had exactly 5. So if you just take out his gross starts of the year, he's been better from the strikeout department. And the Cubs strike out a decent amount. They're not like the number 1 team like the Mariners were a month ago or anything like that, or the Athletics are now. But 7th high strikeout rate in the MLB against right-handed pitching. So I just really like, again, it's a play I liked for the price. And I think you're getting a little bit better odds because of how bad he was to start the year, specifically with strikeouts. So yeah,
I also think, I just remember I was looking at this last night, fairly certain that Logan Webb has better strikeout numbers on the road too, like significantly better, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure he's got like a strikeout per 9 over 8 on the road, and it's like 6 something at home, and unless I was looking at the wrong numbers. But actually, why don't I just pull it up?
I was gonna say I generally don't look at home road splits as much as you guys do, so I didn't have that numbers off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. Toast.
First 5 under 5. If you want to play under 4.5, that's cool with me too. Webb versus Steele. I mean, what a pitching matchup. This is what we want to see. And I think that we're going to get what we expect in a pitching duel here. I know these teams scored a whole bunch of runs yesterday, and the weather in Wrigley is pretty good here for runs today, but I'm not seeing runs here today. Steele has finally started to pitch well, not to mention the fact he hasn't pitched great at home, but I will say his last start against the Reds didn't look as bad. I mean, most of the runs came off of an error. He definitely didn't pitch as well as he should have, but I do think that he pitches well today, and he should pitch well here today on paper. Steele also went 8 innings of shutout ball against the Giants last year at home, and I understand that the Giants have added a couple bats, but they also have a couple guys injured. That lineup still doesn't scare me too much. And then Logan Webb Webb's just a guy that I trust. That's really simple for me. I understand that his road numbers usually aren't the same as far as home and road splits, as far as winning games and whatnot. But I trust him. And the fact of the matter is the dude's going to go 6 or 7 innings and usually give up 2 or 3 run baseball at the very worst. So the Cubs aren't hitting anyway. Like I said, I understand that they scored a whole bunch yesterday, but I think it's the weather has a lot to do with this total. I personally think we see a pitching duel.
Someone said fade Logan Webb on the road, and if historically that is true, but we're talking about 3 consecutive excellent road starts. At Pittsburgh, at Citi Field, at Texas, 7 innings, 2 runs, 7 shutout innings, 6 innings, 2 runs. So 3 excellent road starts in a row for Logan Webb. And as far as his strikeout rate, strikeouts per 9, here it is. On the road this year, 8.93. At home, 6.38. So that's significantly more strikeouts on the road for you there, Modi.
Not to mention, as far as Logan Webb on the road, the bad starts on the road at the Dodgers, the first or whatever week of the season it was when the Dodgers were putting up runs against everybody. He gave up 4 runs in Boston and 5 runs to Philadelphia. Everything else is like 6 innings, 1 run. Like it's, yeah.
Next game, please. Proppy, but before you do the poll, can you go to my pick graphics under 3 people? Go to mine and update it because I added a new pick graphic in there for this one. So yeah, update it, same folder. Yep. Perfect. And then scroll to the Mets and scroll to the Mets game and get my pickup. There, come on now. There it is. All right. No caption needed. Grimace money line. Hottest team in baseball right now. Go ahead, Toast.
Oh my God. Yeah, I took the Mets as well. I don't even know what that means, to be dead honest with you. Like, but
what the Grimace Mets are undefeated.
I don't the gritty of New York.
Anyway, Severino been an absolute stud for the Mets, especially 3 of his last 4 starts. I know some of them have been at home, but I don't really think that the Miami and Tampa Bay starts are indicative of how well he's actually pitched this year. So he's also dominated this Texas lineup in the past as well. Last year, he faced his team, went 6 innings, didn't give up any runs on 5 hits. So I think Lorenzen has been like a breath of fresh air for this Rangers team. But I just have a hard time believing that after coming off a 7-inning, 4-hit performance against the Dodgers, he's going to follow that up and blank this Mets team that is just red hot right now. I mean, they're getting production from everywhere in that lineup. So the price is sketchy as all hell. I will admit that, but it was yesterday too, and it was an easy win. So yeah, I'm on the Mets. It's that simple.
Give him the Grimace graphic.
Do not.
Oh no, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. Grimace. So yeah, Grimace Mets for me. Are you on the Grimace Mets, Matt?
No, I'm not on the gritty version of New York Grimace. I have Luis Severino under 4.5 strikeouts. I got it at -110. I should see what it's still priced at. It's -125. So again, I guess I did get a good price there, but not as playable now. This isn't necessarily me saying I think he's going to have a horrible start. I just don't think he's going to get a lot of strikeouts. He's gone under in 3 straight starts. He's gone under in 6 of 13 starts. Normally, I try to fade recent results, bet the opposite of that, but not for this one. The Rangers don't have a lot of strikeout options, even though they were like terrible against right-handed pitching this season. I think they have the 30th ranked WRC plus in the last 15 games against right-handed pitching, which is crazy to think from the Rangers bats. They just don't strike out a lot. They have a strikeout rate of 19.9%, which is just below average according to Fangraphs. But more importantly, they don't have a single batter on the year that strikes out at an awful rate of 27.5% or worse. The highest strikeout rate against right-handed pitching is Adolis Garcia, who has a strikeout rate of 26.4%, which is below average, but it's not terrible. And they have 6 dudes in a lineup that strike out below 20%. And Severino is not a guy that is a good strikeout pitcher either. His strikeout rate of 18.6%, that's the 15th lowest in the MLB. He's got the 12th lowest swinging strike rate, the 2nd lowest call strike plus whiff rate. It's just like hard for me to see him getting the 5+ strikeouts. And this was one of my, I know a lot of them were like half unit Darthos. This was one of my favorite plays on the board.
So someone said explain the Grimace Mets. So Grimace is a character from the old McDonald's ads with Ronald McDonald in like the 70s. The character Grimace threw out the first pitch at Citi Field like a week ago, and the Mets haven't lost a game since. They were perfect, I think 6-0 or 7-0 since Grimace. They're 6-0 since Grimace threw out the first pitch. Not to mention, the Mets are now 10-2 in their last 12 games. They truly are, all jokes aside, one of the hottest teams in baseball right now, and the Rangers might be the coldest. In fact, in the last 30 days, ready for this? In the last 30 days, the Texas Rangers are dead last in all three major batting metrics at home. No, I'm sorry. Dead last in all three major batting metrics against righties, period. So in the baseball total, they're 30th across the board in the last 30 days, 30th across the board against right-handed pitching, and at home, they're 28th. So this is truly one of the coldest lineups in baseball against a team that can't seem to stop winning. So yeah, Grimace up.
Also, if you want to play Mets -1.5, I don't hate it at a big plus price because Texas has played 15 one-run games out of their 73. They just don't play one-run games.
Yeah, people don't know who Grimace is. I don't know what Prop Beaver's doing. We haven't decided yet. He's right here, though. He's producing. He can see all your comments. He's producing the show right now. He's the one doing the polls and the graphic.
What happened to the Sauce Moments Twitter account, by the way?
They just stopped posting. I was being serious. I didn't know who that was. I was gonna
say, did you make him you write a cease and desist?
No, I sent him a DM and I was like, I appreciate it. I sent him a message, said I appreciate it to that guy. Someone wants to do that and post the clips of the show. Man, if I like the clips you post, I might get put on the payroll. Just saying. That guy started off, he did like 4 days of it. And I was like, this is awesome.
And there were some good moments.
Yeah. All right. Someone goes, these youngsters not knowing Grimace. All right. Houston White Sox. I didn't look at this game for a second.
Houston -1.5 for me. Just banking on that Framber continues to pitch well. I understand that his last start against San Francisco wasn't good, but he was coming off a 9-inning performance. It's really hard for me to expect him to pitch well coming off of a 9-inning performance, but he's really pitched well against this White Sox team in the past, and I really think that Jonathan Gannon could get destroyed here by the Astros lineup. So again, I understand that the Astros haven't been great, but they have been a little bit better on the road. I'll take my chances, especially lately. So I'll take my chances with the Astros here.
Mayor McCheese.
Not that I'm like have to explain while I'm fading the White Sox, I guess.
Apparently someone said in the comments that there's a lot of sharps on the White Sox in this one. I don't see it because Framber Valdez, if I remember correctly, has dominant. For one, he's been absolutely lights out on the road. That's for one. He's been good as hell on the road for a while now. And also, I'm pretty sure he's got dominant numbers against right-handed bats. And I think the White Sox have 9 of them. I think they literally, 8. Benintendi's lefty. So the White Sox will have 8 righties in the lineup, and Framber Valdez dominant on the road, dominant against righty bats. So
well,
it's really good.
To your point, 286 WOBA, 112 WHIP, 343 xFIP versus righty, 452 WOBA, 2.0 WHIP, 376 xFIP. It's completely day and night. This is the wrong type of lineup to face Framber.
So Modi, having heard what Toast just brought up, the Framber Valdez struggles against lefty bats, good against righties. There's 8 righties in the lineup. Benintendi over total bases.
I did not look at his specific splits against righties versus lefties. That's admittedly a miss on my part. I actually faded Framber Valdez, but I had him under 17.5 outs. Another just play for the price at +160. I get it. He's been good. He's hit 18 or more outs, which basically means he went a full 6 innings. In 6 of his last 10 starts, and 2 games ago against the Angels, he threw a complete game. And I get that the White Sox have been terrible if you look at the entire season, but over the last 2 weeks, they've been really good against lefties. 6th best WRC+, 6th best WOBA, 5th best weighted runs above average, 4th best on base percentage, and 5th best batting average. So the last 2 just means that hopefully they can get they can get runners on base just to rack up his pitch count. And definitely not saying that Framber Valdez is terrible, but he's also not nearly as good as he was back in 2022 when they won the World Series. 3.99 ERA, 4.06 xERA, and his batting average allowed 252 isn't terrible, but it's the 19th highest in the MLB. So I don't necessarily think he's going to get rocked for a bunch of runs, but I do think that the White Sox are just going to be able to up his pitch count a little bit causing him to not hit the full 6 innings. And for plus 160, like I thought, again, worth a dart throw.
Cali Kid said, Prop Beaver, don't let the gambling and social media get to your mental. We need you back. Prop Beaver actually really likes making the videos, though. And when he does the prop stuff, he doesn't really get to do as much of that. So there's multiple angles to it. It's not just that he didn't want to. It would also, he likes to be involved in the videos, and he doesn't get to do a ton of that when he's doing the prop stuff, too. So, all right. Next game, please. Dodgers, Rockies. Like when we do those NFL videos where I upload and it's like a 12-minute video breaking down one game, like that's mostly him. He does those. And when he's doing his prop stuff, it takes away a lot of his time to do those. All right, next game, please, Prop Beaver. Dodgers, Rockies is the poll up. All right, I don't know what to I want to take the Rockies, but I'm not doing it. I already have a bunch of bets open. So I looked at this about 5 minutes. I said I already had 7 bets open. No.
I bet the Rockies. So, yeah, Walker Buehler sucks. He is not giving me a reason to in any way, shape, or form, put it on the tally marker to trust this guy. Not to mention the fact that the Rockies already seen him this year in at Los Angeles, and they put up 6 hits and 4 runs against him. He doesn't have a terrible record at Coors Field, but this Rockies lineup knows him, and they've already put runs up against him. And I understand that Austin Gomber is coming off like the absolute worst performance he could ever possibly have his last on the road at Minnesota, but he's been pretty damn good at home this year, and 6 of his last 7 starts have been on the road. I expect him to pitch well. He pitched decent against the Dodgers he only went 3 innings, but he gave up 3 runs and 5 hits. But I mean, at no point are the Dodgers just putting up a ton of runs on him. And I understand that the Dodgers scored a whole bunch yesterday, but I just don't think they're going to sweep this series. So I'll take my chances with the lefty on the mound. I just have no problem with taking the Rockies at a big plus price.
Ass. Modi.
Yeah, third and final dong here. Will Smith plus 400. Was that like BetMGM or Fanatics was what it was last priced at. It's just targeting him against a lefty. He's phenomenal against left-handed pitchers, and he's really, really bad against lefties. It's like really, really dramatic splits as opposed to righties versus lefties. And Austin Gomber, he gives up a ton of home runs. Even if you want to use a qualifier that he pitches at Coors, he has the 5th worst home run per 9 in the MLB. But if you look at other stuff that doesn't have to do with the stadium, 11th highest barrel rate allowed, 27th highest average exit velocity, 16th highest pull rate, 23rd highest hard hit rate in the MLB. So he's not like the top 5 worst pitcher for home runs, but he's definitely not good. And like I said, Will Smith significantly better against left-handed pitching than against righties. ISO rate against lefties is 31.7%. Only Aaron Judge and Kyle Tucker would have a better ISO rate than his against lefties. Fly ball rate, 50%. That would be the 7th highest in the MLB. Hard hit rate, 42.6%. That would be the 8th highest in the MLB. So yeah, especially with Mookie Betts out, they're going to need guys like him to step up. So I liked Will Smith to hit a home run.
Estot says Dodgers run line easy. He wrote the word easy in there. Easy, he says. Next up.
Dodgers, Yankees, Twins. I'm sure you'll hear that a lot today. Man, that's a ballsy play, Modi. That's a ballsy play. I might just tell you.
Will Smith?
Yeah, dude. Austin Gomber has owned Will Smith in his whole career. He's like 0 for 10 with 5 strikeouts against Austin.
0 for 5, but none of those have been this year. It's all last year, 2 years ago.
All right. Yes, RC is in the building. You cappers in there. Yo, Ronald, send me your availability. I never know what days to ask you because your schedule changes a lot. All right. Milwaukee Angels. And this is an interesting one. All right. So I looked at this one, and when I first glanced at it and took a look, I wanted to go right back to the Angels. I took the Angels first 5 money line yesterday in the league. I didn't actually post it as a bet, but I took it as one of my league picks, which won. Angels ended up winning the game. I like Griffin Canning, and this Brewers lineup is cooling off against righties, and it hasn't been good on the road. I mean, this Brewers lineup has hit at home all season, but they're cooling off against righties, and they're on the road. So I think Griffin Canning can pitch great here. But Tobias Myers, yeah, he's been pretty good, but the Angels lineup is actually heating up a little bit against the righties. So I'm all, hey, Angels at plus 120 at home. Why not take that? And then I looked at the Angels bullpen, and I became insanely terrified. They're in bad shape. I have it open right here, actually. Angels bullpen, ready for this? No Estevez. Garcia, maybe. He threw 2 of the last 3, but he threw 24 yesterday. So maybe Garcia. Matt Moore, 2 of the last 3, threw 17 yesterday. So the main 3 arms in the Angels bullpen, either unavailable or heavily taxed, which makes taking the Angels to win this game a really tough pill to swallow. So I guess if you force me to bet it, I guess I would say Brewers money line, but I hate it and I won't be betting it. So Brewers are passed just because the Angels bullpen. Maybe, you know what? This is what I'll do. If the Angels get up, like if it's like 2-0 Angels in the 3rd inning, I'll jump on the Brewers live. How about that?
Angels team total over 3.5, -130. Don't understand this number and all, and if it's a trap, so be it. But the Angels have scored 4 more runs in 5 of their last 6 games, and Myers has been solid, but I do think he's been due to give up some runs. His last 2 road starts have been really good, but at the same time, it's been Detroit and Boston, and both those teams weren't really hitting well at the time, not like the Boston that we've seen over the last couple of days. And the start before that, the Cubs hit him up for 4 runs. So of the last 7 right-handed starters that the Angels have seen, they've got to 4 of them. And the only guys that have slowed them down is Matt Waldron, who's got a crazy knuckleball that's pitching really well right now. Hunter Brown is another guy that's pitching extremely out of his mind right now. And Brandon Pfaadt had a good game against him. But I just don't see Myers shutting down this Angels team that's been a top 10 team against righties the last couple of weeks. So at 3.5 at a decent price, I took it.
And someone asked, I would Brewers live. If the Angels take a lead, I'll take the Brewers live. That's what I would do here. This isn't on my ticket or anything. Modi?
Yeah, I didn't play this one. I passed.
Okay. What game are we on, prop here? Was that 17? One more. KC Oakland. Man, you got Alec Marsh coming off an excellent start. Kansas City's bats trending downwards on the road where they've been worse all season. Tell me you didn't want to take Oakland here, Toast.
I did not.
I didn't. This is a pass for me, but I wanted Oakland. Modi, why don't you go first?
Sure. Yeah, I have Alec Marsh 7+ strikeouts +132 at FanDuel. Another play that I really liked because of the price and get to fade the Athletics that are the worst strikeout team in the MLB over the last 2 weeks. 27.9%. That's number 1 in the MLB, but they're the only team that's even above 27%, which means that they're the only team that has like an awful team strikeout rate defined by Fangraphs. 4 guys in the lineup that strike out above 27.5%, 3 over 30% of the time. But you compare that to teams like I talked about, like the Rangers, who don't have a single guy. And it's just like clear the difference between the Athletics and other teams. And if you look at Marsh's season, like the entire year, you're not going to be super impressed with his strikeout stuff, but he's been better recently. He missed 7 or more strikeouts in his first 5 starts. Since then, he's gone over in 5 of his last 7. And if you just look at those last 7 starts, strikeout rate of 26.8%. That would tie him with Zach Wheeler for the 17th highest strikeout rate in the MLB if you just looked at all qualified pitchers. So yeah, this made the category of dart throw because of the price.
Marsh 7+ Ks. Toast, it sounded like you were on the Royals. Muted.
Still muted.
Sorry, the kid's awake. Yeah, no, I'm no way. It's a straight pass for me. There's no way I play the Royals with Alec Marsh off of a 7-inning performance when he just pitched an absolute gem. Huh?
I think it's an Oakland spot.
So do I. I'm just not betting it because they've lost 9 games in a row. I think that Alec Marsh is about to could get hit up here. The last time that he pitched 7 innings against Minnesota, he came back and got hit up by the by the Padres. So I don't think that Alex Marsh probably does well after going 7 innings yesterday or his last start. I don't really trust Hogan Harris, but he actually, like, if you look at what Hogan Harris has done his last 5 starts, it hasn't been terrible. I mean, the Dodgers got to him, but he went 5 innings, 2 runs against Padres on the road, 6 innings scoreless against Toronto at home. He went 6 innings, 2 runs against Houston at home. He had a decent start against the Rays on the road. I mean, nothing crazy special, but it's not like he's been getting like just throttled. So I lean Oakland. There's just no way I can do it.
Oakland's gonna win this game. Put up Oakland for me. Yeah, they've lost 9 in a row. 6 of those games were on the road. They just got back from a road trip. They had the day off. Oakland's been ass on the road all year. So actually, no, seven road games. They won 9 in a row. 7 of them were on the road. Now they're back at home with a day off where Oakland, they've been winning some games at home. What's their record at home this year? 15-20. The Royals on the road are 16-18. These two teams have like the same record in this location as far as the Oakland being at home and Kansas City being on the road. Like Toe said, Alec Marsh coming off the best start of his career, maybe.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think Oakland wins this game. Truly. I don't know if I have the cojones to place the bet, but I think Oakland wins this game. So
Coward.
Pass. Coming from the dude that's been wearing the same shirt for 11 days, that's rich.
Well, that doesn't make me a coward. That makes me the bravest man on the planet.
I guess would it be considered bravery to wear the same shirt over an extended period of time? I suppose that is brave.
Thank you. It's brave. It's thick-skinned to handle your chat, making fun of me again. I wonder if someone could get an AI summary of the chat again.
That was hilarious.
That was so funny.
Yeah, it happened the other day too. I was funny.
All right,
go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say let's do a community parlay. Hit the song.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We community, making a parlay, yeah.
All right, Prop Beaver, do you want to do the community parlay and I'll do the underdog? Okay. I'm doing the underdog pick'em today. So I'll read off the teams, and while they're voting, I'll do it. So Cardinals, Phillies up to minus 161 now. Guardians.
It's because the Padres sat everybody.
And Reds.
Who else is out besides Tatis?
Kim.
Yeah.
Kim's not having the season this year that he was having last year, right? He was the man last year.
No, but that's still Gold Glove defense.
Yeah.
As you saw yesterday. Yeah, it's the top 2 OPS guys on their team. Well, top 2 of the top 3.
Oh, Phillies ran away with that.
Oh, you got first poll's over? Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, Nationals, Orioles, Red Sox. Red Sox minus 130 now. And Braves.
What could go wrong? Yeah, great. Cincinnati's down to like 128. Great.
All right, Prop Beaver, I just sent you my underdog.
Mets are going to close like 130.
I know. Grimace. The power of Grimace, bro. I wonder if they're going to put Grimace in the community parlay.
That's crazy.
We'll do a countdown. Hit end poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, end poll. And the winner is Nats. Nats are losing.
Nats.
D-backs are going to win that game. I'm on Arizona Island. All right, next poll. We did that. We did that. So Twins money line, Giants money line, Grimace money line, Astros money line.
I will say, Yankees fans, Ben Rice should be really fun to watch tonight. He looks exactly like Aaron Judge in the box. Like it's like a spitting image. It's crazy. So have fun watching that. It should be like, I'm dead serious. I'm really excited to watch that kid play.
You're basically calling him Aaron Judge.
He looks just like him. If you watch it in the minor leagues, he has the same thing. He has the same little load kick thing that Aaron Judge does. They look exactly the same. The only difference is Aaron Judge's hands are like more out. He keeps his a little bit more in.
Is Grimace going to win this poll? It's deadlocked. We'll give another 5 seconds. 5, 4.
How long has Grimace been out of jail?
2, 1, end poll. Is it Grimace?
Nah, it's the Twins.
It's a conspiracy to keep Grimace out.
Yeah, the people hate Grimace.
Oh, but there's only 3 teams left, so Grimace will have another shot. So Dodgers money line, last poll. Brewers money line, Royals money line, and Grimace money line. Someone goes the Grimace Reapers.
What they should do is they should change their patch to Grimace because you can have a company sponsored patch. That'd be cool.
A Grimace patch?
Yeah, like instead of whatever their hospital is in the Mets.
No, you know what the Mets will do, because this is what the Mets will do. Watch the Mets win like 12 in a row with the Grimace streak. They'll bring Grimace back again to just try to make money off it, and then we'll start losing. Like they'll jinx it. They'll screw it up. That's the Mets in a nutshell. Like, oh shit, people are loving this Grimace thing. Like Edwin Diaz can't blow a save. Let's bring Timmy Trumpet in and have a whole freaking performance on it.
Man,
Breaks his ankle.
The fall off of Edwin Diaz. Wow.
Maybe Grimace is the resurgence of Edwin Diaz. That's all he needed, was a little Grimace magic.
A little Grimace in his
Grimace
life.
is in? Oh, what's the odds on that?
Wait, so it's Grimace's last one?
727 on BetMGM is the best you're going to get.
Yeah, Prop Beaver put the community parlay in Grimace purple. Phillies money line, Nationals money line, Twins money line, Grimace money line plus 727. And throw up my underdog. Is it up there? All right, Bryce Miller. I've been saying I like the spot for Bryce Miller. I think he's about to pitch a good game here in Cleveland. It's kind of a buy low on his road splits after pitching 3 really tough road starts. So I like Bryce Miller to pitch well. Cleveland bats cooling off a little bit too. Chris Bassett going to get rocked by the hot Boston Red Sox lineup. So over 5.5 hits for Bassett. Griffin Canning, higher than 16.5 outs. I think Griffin Canning's been good this year. Been put in a couple tough spots, but the Brewers bats are cooling down against righties, and they haven't been a very productive lineup on the road all season. They're a much better lineup at home. So Griffin Canning, 16.5 outs, reasonable. That's my underdog pick 'em. If you don't have an underdog fantasy account, it's available in any state highlighted in this map. So if you're in one of the states highlighted in yellow here, probably we're putting it on the screen. There it is. If you're in one of the states highlighted in yellow here, head over to the website, Underdog Fantasy, or download the app. When you make your account, make sure you use the promo code BET, B-E-T. That'll get you a $100 deposit bonus match. So if you deposit $100, they will give you a free $100 to play with. Thanks, everyone, for watching. As always, tomorrow we'll be here in the morning for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games with Kamish, and then us same 3 will be back to the night. You're coming on tomorrow, right, Modi?
No, I can't tomorrow.
You can't? Oh.
No.
So I don't know who's joining us in the afternoon. In the morning, it'll be me, Toast, and Kamish, though. So see you tomorrow. We'll have back-to-back live shows. Yeah, let's have ourselves a good one. I got a bunch of bets posted on the site already. If you're in the league today, best of luck.